All right, we have made it to Fayetteville, Arkansas. We are an SEC country, and we are in the middle of head coach Eric Musselman's office right now. Coach Muss, first off, thank you. You have been an unbelievable host. We have enjoyed our time here in Fayetteville, and thanks for having us. It's been a blast.
No, it's been great for all of us. Our players are happy that you guys are here, and we still got a little bit more time on this trip, so hopefully it continues to go real smooth with a lot of fun.
I can't believe I'm in Arkansas, to be honest.
I can't believe I'm wearing my hat backwards like you. So I'm going to have to take it off. But I wanted to start the interview, because, you roll pretty cool. So I just figured, hey, why not go with the backwards baseball cap?
And the interview, he said I'm pretty cool. That's all I need. You spend way too. He's going to leave this trip like, what the fuck did we just do the entire time? And you just came. Rico's like, we got to go on this trip just to come for merch. That's all. He started this whole podcast just for merch, and you know that.
I did, but then I would like to think we're friends, Coach.
We are friends, Rico.
So there you go. So yes, all I was hoping for was some free T-shirts. Turns out I got a couple of friends along the way.
And the friendship's more important than the merch. But I think up to this point, we've only given you one T-shirt, so we probably have not held up our end of the bargain very good.
I think
if in
right.
fact the whole thing was about merch, we gotta step up our game.
But
zero question about that.
The catfish, he probably wasn't expecting that, so
No.
that's got to count for something.
Yeah.
At your house, hosting us for
A good
cookout.
meal at my house, poolside.
That's the problem. You're spoiling us. Like, this was unbelievable. I don't even know. Like, we kind of sat in the car after. We're like, what the fuck? This is surreal. Like, this is like one of our favorite coaches. Now we're at his house. We're friends. So seriously, though, thank you. That's crazy that you let us do any of this. So, but I do want to get to some things. I scroll Twitter every day, and I just see Arkansas is in the mix for someone on the portal. How many spots do you fucking have, huh? You got
We
everyone
only have
in
13 scholarships. But we like to be active in the portal. We like to be active in the high school recruiting. We still, believe it or not, we have an open spot right now. Based on your kicking my butt in rat ball yesterday, I want to see if that might have been luck yesterday. If so, let it be. If not, maybe we talked to Coach Ruda about adding you on Scully.
Yep, we got practice today. Don't worry. I know this is my workout today.
He did lose a one-on-one, though, Coach.
Rico, I know. Hand down, man down, no defense, no hand in the eyeball.
Listen, that's the thing I took away. We were at practice for 20 minutes because the flights were a disaster to get here, which is none of your fault, but we had the worst luck. But we're there for 20 minutes, and you guys do like 11 drills. The thing I saw that stood out to me was these guys are buying in on defense. How do you get like that energy? How do you get them to match the energy level on the defensive end? Because everyone wants to play offense.
Yep. I think just you got to try to make it fun a little bit too. There's got to be some joy in your defensive drills, in your defensive identity. We try to tell our guys, quite frankly, if you want the ball, you got to go get it. And you got to get it on the defensive end or loose balls or off the backboards. And then you kind of get a little bit more freedom. But defensively, we want to have structure. And, unlike football, you got to play both sides of the ball in basketball. And that's one of the things that we talk about all the time is, you think about a basketball game, how much time you actually have the ball in your hands, not long. I mean, for some guys, it can be less than a minute that they actually have the ball in their hands. If you're not a point guard, you have the ball in your hands more than a minute and a half. That's a long time. What are you doing the other 39 minutes? You got to play some D.
That was the thing that impressed me the most just sitting on your practice was the intensity. I don't know if I could tell the difference between what we saw yesterday and the day before practice for the Elite Eight game against Baylor. Is there a difference, or is that what it is 365 days a year?
We're pretty turned up, as they like to say. Like we got, our whole program is our whole program's based on, energy and enthusiasm. So I would say that probably getting ready for an Elite Eight game, probably not the intensity level. But we play music every practice. We try to have, like I said, joy. That's one of the things that we've kind of, stolen from the Warriors and what Steve Kerr does, because I've taken a lot of the staff members to their first few days of training camp. We always try to go to a training camp and get a feel for an NBA team that we've patterned our season after. Like last year, because of the pandemic, we couldn't go to the Bucks training camp. But what we did is we spent our entire pandemic summer studying Milwaukee, how do they utilize their offensive spacing, what they do defensively, and then we implemented that. And the year before, we kind of looked at the pace and space play and the style that Golden State used. And so we just try to have as much fun as we can, along with a lot of intensity.
You should feel honored. Rico said that you had more intensity than his high school practices, so that's big. I swear to God, Coach, right when we get in, he's like, man, I thought my practices in high school were fucking intense. This is crazy. I'm like, did you just compare Arkansas to you?
Marty half listens to what I
What are
say.
you
and
talking
spins
about?
some
No
things.
way.
But I was kind of mesmerized. I hadn't been in a practice in so long. But yeah, it's a compliment. Marty will spin it the way he wants to fucking spin it.
Jake, did he say that?
I think you're exaggerating a little bit, but yes, he said there was some sort of comparison of his high school in New Jersey to the Razorbacks.
You know, I was just thinking, Jake, looking at your shirt, getting back to the merch, we could probably screen print a Hog logo on that particular polo as well. We have our own screen printer downstairs. When this interview's over, I'll even use the hot press,
This guy.
put the logo. But we got to get you more merch.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about him. Yeah.
I'm here for the friendships.
Yeah, now
And the
now
shirts.
If I walk out with a couple of golf shirts, all right, that's icing on the cake. But I'd like to think we're friends. Speaking, I guess, friends, family, it's a perfect segue. You had a great bond with your dad. He was a coach. You were around it. What's it like having your son on the staff? He's director of recruiting, his official title.
Yeah, I mean it's actually, you guys, it's amazing. So I've been divorced from my first wife, Michael's mom, and so you miss time. You know, like in a divorced household, you're lucky if you get 50% timeshare, so to speak. And so 50% of his growing up, I missed. You know, I would go to I stopped coaching actually to kind of get back with my two sons and hang around them and be at Little League games and all that. But to walk through the door every day and be able to say good morning to your son, and then when you're walking out, say, hey, see you tomorrow. It's unlike anything that, you know, that you can't get time back, but this is a way for us, you know, to kind of steal some time back that somebody normally, when they graduate from college, they go off on their own. And Michael was a GA for us at Nevada. And I only worked for my dad for 1 year with the Timberwolves. And now that he's no longer living, that year is so precious. And so to be able to have somebody, you know, on your staff that's family. Plus, the biggest thing is, you know what true loyalty is? When your son's working for you.
Yeah.
You know you got a loyal staff member. You really don't have to worry about, hey, is this guy unhappy here? Or, like, it's blood, man. You know it's all good.
I do like how he calls you Coach Must too.
He
Love
does.
that.
Yeah.
Love
favoritism.
that.
Yeah.
I have not heard him call me dad in probably 2 years.
Love that. You gotta have that.
Once in a while, I actually wish he would call me dad.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know I am still your dad.
Flip the switch for just a sec.
In the off season. Yeah.
One thing what we saw in March, going back to November, you guys were 9-10-0, and people are like, Arkansas's not playing anybody. But then you go to March, Oral Roberts, Abilene Christian, North Texas, all win games in the tournament. Looking ahead to this year, do you think you have hidden gems? How do you go about that when scheduling? I know Ruda, the director of operations, does a lot of that, but if you could give us some insight, that'd be great.
Yeah, so what we do with our high school recruits, what we do with our transfers, grad transfers, we have statistical formulas that we try to use. And then it's the same thing with scheduling. When you're at a place like Nevada and your conference, meaning the Mountain West at the time, could possibly be just a one-bid league, you've got to be masters of the schedule. And so we brought that same formula here, where how can we try to figure out teams that'll finish one or two in their respective league, and maybe mid-majors or low majors that are really, really good teams that maybe the fan base doesn't understand how good they are. But we knew, like when we scheduled Oral Roberts, we knew, one, they're really well coached. Two, they play with great discipline. They had a two-man game in the pick and roll with two players that are as good as any two players in the entire country. So we knew that game early on was going to test our pick and roll coverage and maybe find some holes that we could improve our pick and roll coverage, so that when we got to the SEC play, we kind of had tightened up that two-man defensive game because of what we experienced in the non-conference. And the same thing with Abilene Christian. We knew that particular group of guys was experienced and played really hard and would challenge our guys.
I want to go back to the transfer portal too, because I feel like this year has been crazy with it. I feel like it's been one of the craziest years with it, and now that these players can get paid and everything, is that like throwing a wrench into a lot of things? So I feel like everyone's on their own right now. It's like no one knows what the hell's going on, but you just gotta kind of keep going with it. Like, how are you dealing with that? Like, are you learning as well?
Yeah, so the transfer portal, for 95% of the transfer portal, there was no name, image, and likeness. All of a sudden, this last 5% of the portal, as we get ready to finish the summer session and get ready for, when school starts, there's really no guardrails right now. Like, we're trying to figure this thing out as we go on the fly. And we're learning, we're hearing things, but we're trying to figure out, we're not allowed to facilitate any name, image, and likeness. What we can do is we can educate our players on what they need to do from their end. It's certainly
Confusing time.
very confusing.
Yeah, it's like they're writing. You're watching them write the laws as it's going on.
And it'll probably change
Yeah, every time.
as we go.
Without a doubt.
You
Probably to
would've-
benefit
you
the
would've-
NCAA too.
You would have made like $100,000 at DeVry.
I
That
would have been
online
all right,
school
DeVry.
would have been unbelievable.
Natural salesman. I would have been all right.
This guy wants to go everywhere with a patch. He goes, "Oh, let's put patches on this fucking what's Baldor, that food
Val,
company."
Yeah. Well, it's how I started when we called into radio was I would do my own ad reads on the show, like on radio. Dave and Dan were like, "What? Like, this guy is fucking off the reservation." It was like my buddy's shoe repair company in Michigan. I'm like, yeah, if we have, I put everything. I'll put ads everywhere. That's
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
doing in the NBA.
when you think about it, like European soccer, way ahead of what we were doing with the ads all over. Actually, I don't know if you guys know, but in year one, I would go into every post-game press conference with a different sponsored T-shirt when I would do the press conference, which was extra pop for them. But I didn't get anything extra out of it. So in year two, I'm like, F it. I'm just going to wear my Arkansas stuff, and I'm not going to continue to
free promotion. All
Yeah,
the time.
I mean,
I don't work for free. Yeah, exactly. No free ads.
That's what they say at our company. No free ads, no free ads.
That's how we live. We took a tour of the house last night, which is still insane. Like, I can't believe you let three idiots in your house. But
I was like, yeah, we can't have Rico be alone with Muss too long. He'll start saying some
I was
weird
hoping
shit.
if I wanted the room with the whiteboard, we would have gone to plays. We would have been there all night.
I told him I'm gonna sleep over. He's have no idea I'm there. Walk down in my boxes, Coach. We got some bacon this morning.
It seems like there's a lot of decorative. The jerseys collection is awesome. If you only had to pick one, because I know your wife, you've told us, is cracking down. If you only had to pick one, which way you going? Because you have Jordan, but Tony Gwynn means a lot to you. I know you're a Padres guy. If you could only pick one jersey, which one?
The
you keep?
the bats are cool as shit too.
I'd probably go with the Wilt Chamberlain L.A. Lakers jersey. That probably, Wilt would probably be the one that I would not want to part with if we start downsizing. If I get fired and we got to go back
I
to
think you're right.
a beach hut in San Diego, right? And I'm living on the boardwalk at Mission Beach in a little 2-bedroom place with my wife, and she's only allowing one jersey. It's going to be that Wilt Chamberlain one.
Not a bad collection. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Not a Rico Bosco signed Barstool Bench Mob T-shirt.
I will
Did it make
wear.
the
I
cut?
will wear.
No, we
that.
got to get you Jackals. The Jackals has to make
I
the
played
wall.
one game for a minor league baseball team. I fouled the ball off pretty good. The guy was throwing like 92. I haven't swung a bat in a while. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. But I'll get you a Jackal sign, Marty Mush. That's got to make the wall.
That okay. Well, you know what? I wouldn't even put that on the wall.
In garbage.
What I would no. What I would do with that, if I'm fortunate enough to ever get that, that's a perfect thing to wear while you're riding the beach cruiser up and down the boardwalk and eating a Roberto's, fajita burrito.
You're getting one now. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
we'll
say.
hook you up.
So now this has nothing to do with anything. So say you're poor again. You got no money. I give you $100,000 a year, but every single week a major league pitcher will come and throw a curveball and hit you. Would you do that?
Yes.
Like
Well, it
you wake
depends.
up,
It depends.
like you wake up, you're all groggy.
Okay, so I'm a switch hitter.
Uh-huh.
So I could go against a lefty or righty.
Yeah.
And the key is when you get hit, you really got to, you got to take it in the shoulder.
Well, this is the thing, though. You're not in a batter's box. This is like you could wake up out of bed and all of a sudden Trevor Bauer's there and throws a curveball in your face. Doesn't hit you in the face. Always, it could anywhere in the body, not the face. It could be Chapman. You just wake up. Oh fuck, Chapman's here, and you just get hit in the back.
You know what?
Once a week, you don't know when it's coming either.
I mean, Mari, I got to think about that.
Yeah, it's a tough
I
question.
mean, I really do. I mean,
I don't know why I've been thinking about
if-
this for a long time.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
think I would too.
Yeah, if I'm living in Oceanside, yeah, I probably would.
It'd just be kind of funny too. They come around the corner and it's
Just get hit with an 80, 90 mile.
Yeah,
And if it's a curveball, it's hard to get out of the way.
I know exactly. You know where it's going. It's $100,000 too. It's not bad.
I think I'd take it for
All
sure.
right. I don't think you would.
$100,000 a day?
No, $100,000 for the year.
No, I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, but if you're poor, I mean,
Well, if you have no money, yeah, you have nothing to lose.
I do it now. I have no money, so
So, Coach, we have the NBA draft coming up in a couple of weeks, and one of your guys, Moses Moody, expected to be in the lottery. What does that mean for the culture of the program when you go to recruits and say, hey, look who we had, look what he's doing now, this could be you?
well, I think it means so much because you got to think about all the history with Arkansas basketball. Moses Moody is the first one-and-done player in the history of this program. And so then to be a one-and-done player, we know he's going in the first round because I've already had teams calling that are in the 20s asking, hey, do you think we should maybe trade up for him? You know, and how valuable can he be? And so we know, like we're having a draft party at my house on draft night. We're not doing that because we think we're going to have a guy picked in the second round. We're doing that because we know we got a first rounder. It means a ton because everybody talks about our philosophy with transfers. What they don't talk about is last year in the NCAA tournament, we started 3 freshmen. Nobody else from the final 32 teams started 3 freshmen but Arkansas. We were the team that did it, made an Elite Eight. Our leading scorer was a freshman. So I think for high school aged players and parents and AAU coaches and high school coaches, it proves that if you're one of our best players, whether you're a grad transfer or a freshman, we're rolling you out there and put the ball in your hands because Moses was the guy when we needed a bucket that we went to, even though he was a freshman.
that is cool because like you think of Arkansas, you're not like, oh, they have one and dones. That's like Duke, Kentucky, all that, and like that just shows how you can come here and be a lottery pick so fast. I didn't even think of that.
The thing I like too is that you dunk on a lot of people as well. Like the schedule thing came out, Arkansas doesn't play anybody, and you're like, hey, I remember the tweet. Hey, looks like Ruta did a good job scheduling. Like same thing. We're one of 32 teams. We're the only one to have 3 freshmen. I love the grudge.
Oh, yeah.
aspect
I
of
mean,
that. Fucking dunk on 'em
Rico,
as much
you
as
know,
can.
I like that phrase. We've never used it that, you know, when I'm about to tweet out, I've never said, hey, I'm about to dunk on you. But that will now be in our repertoire for sure. I might even start tweeting, hey,
Hashtag
watch
dunk on
out.
'em.
We're dunking on you. Or duck your head.
Yes.
And then I'll follow. I got to give you credit at least on the first one.
Yeah.
So
Or else
the
you get
next
blocked.
time we dunk on somebody on
Yeah.
Twitter, we're using that phrase
All right.
and we'll credit you.
Do you know like he has over 10,000 people blocked on Twitter, Rico?
Do you really?
I control my experience. If you're gonna say something bad, then you can't watch my shows. See you later.
So you just block them.
yeah, block 'em.
10,000.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
so much.
I don't know. I don't have that many.
That's insane. Yeah, you got a couple that people are just like annoying or they
Yeah.
say things, but 10,000? It's insane. He's the biggest grudge guy. You know, Wojciechowski, obviously. What'd he say?
So it's yeah,
What'd I
Not,
say?
not,
What'd I
you
say?
said Wojciechowski.
I
the
don't know how
guy.
to speak.
Yeah, no, he's gonna think of 2 different guys.
Yeah.
Say his name. Wojnarowski it is or something.
Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski,
ESPN
yeah.
reporter.
That's how you
ESPN
say it?
reporter.
Yes.
I got it,
Wow.
Woj.
Yes.
2011, December 23rd, Wagner beats Pitt at Pitt. Wagner College is from Staten Island. You're watching the game. It's a huge win for Staten Island. Right away, I'm like, or he's like, huge win for Danny Hurley. I reply, or he saw the tweet in the thread. I was like, yeah, it's great. He just cashed his check. He's going to get a new job. He DMs me. I know him really well. Turned down a lot of jobs for 9 years. He's not leaving. I'm right. And then leaves the convo, like unfollows me so I can never do it. Sure as shit, that summer, he leaves for URI. I tweet at him and tag him like, hey, man, you were wrong. He left. Then he went to UConn. So the running joke every year is people like oh, Danny Hurley's doing a good job at UConn. Or like I'll tweet a picture out of Danny Hurley on the sideline and be like, why is Danny Hurley at UConn? He's coach of Wagner. All he has to do is apologize publicly. That's all he has to do.
Show him the picture, though. It's like a picture from like 1940. It's just all blurry. You can't see it.
It's like when Twitter first started.
If you say
the blocking of I'm trying to figure out. So there's a certain school in our conference that my daughter just would grab my phone and just start blocking people. And, it's like, and then I'm thinking like, wow,
like that picture's just like ridiculous.
2011, Twitter 1.0.
And when on topics of grudges, maybe you can help Rico out here. We try to get a bunch of teams and coaches on our podcast. You guys definitely are up there with the most generous. You should schedule Creighton and Ohio State because Rico doesn't like them.
Yeah, they were like, we don't. That's it. We're not like we don't do anything. Like, we politely decline. We will not do anything with Barstool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, if we sit there and think about our recruits, right? I think Barstool's the greatest thing for recruiting because think about the age and who is listening and fans of Barstool. So any school that tries to dunk on you guys is not very smart.
Natural.
I agree because even like I was talking to somebody from Iowa. I was like, because like we DM'd Luka Garza and we were so excited because we just started, and he's like on the other. It's like, dude, I was so excited. Like that's just because these old bad coaches, they are like still in their set ways. Like they have to do this. Like, oh, we don't need other people. Like if you just incorporate everybody, that's people listen to Barstool. So we appreciate you because you've done everything for us.
No, like I'm like, well, first of all, Barstool's cool, right?
Yes.
And so our recruits think it's cool. So, plus I don't want you to sit there and say that like I'm some old guy that's, what'd you call it?
Bag.
I don't want that.
So you're learning old bag, you're learning dunk on
And-
you. I got to think of an ism for me that will stick with you. I don't know. These guys are
also-
ahead of the game.
You got time before you leave.
It's true.
With you, I always see that thing that comes out like you're like the number one like most like interactions or something with like head coaches. Like that's huge too because like all these kids are on social media. Like that's the new age of almost recruiting. I feel like.
No, it is. I
Like
mean,
that
the
you're
thing
with
is,
it, you know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
what I haven't done, you guys, and I mean, we can discuss this. I haven't got on TikTok yet.
Oh,
You'd be a hit.
You
You know
got
what? And my wife is a really good dancer. So I think between my wife and my daughter that we could probably have some big time TikTok,
you'd be unbelievable.
they could go viral.
Oh yeah,
And-
first
and you-
one. Would
I don't
go.
know if you guys have seen, and if you haven't, I would really like you to look it up. Have you seen the Connor Vanover TikTok video?
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay, well we got to pull it up
All right.
because it's legendary.
He's ducking. That's unbelievable. So at your house yesterday, he like we were saying goodbye. He was coming over to say goodbye, and there's a little hill on in your backyard. He was on the hill. Holy shit! I was like, how is a man? How does he go to the bathroom?
I mean, you got to think like, so we got Connor Vanover, right, at 7'3",
Yeah.
and then we got Chris Likes at 5'7", and the bad thing about Chris Likes is now all the small gear is gone.
That's
So
for- is
I
that
go
for
back
you?
in the equipment room and I'm like, hey, where's my small? Like, I gave it to the equipment manager, Daniel. I gave it to Chris Likes. I'm like, dude, order 2 things now.
You got to double up.
Yeah.
That's someone in your category
I mean,
now.
come on. Like, I'm the only coach that can shop in Kids Gap, and also so can Likes.
Yep.
So Now I got issues. I haven't figured out his shoe size, but it's probably an 8 like mine as well.
I do appreciate you taking him out of the ACC, by the way. Needed that. He's unreal.
He's exciting.
One of the best scorers I've seen. Like, he's so fast.
Great
got him,
speed.
like, that was one of your first ones, right? Your
Yeah,
first,
we kind of got all
portal?
3 of those guys pretty quickly together. He and DC Tony and Stanley Mude. We kind of got all those guys back to back to back.
When you so many new faces, how does that impact the chemistry? I imagine that makes this offseason so much more important to gel everybody.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt that the off season, because we're allowed 10 weeks, we can work with them 8 out of those 10 weeks. I don't really flinch on it because my background is coaching in the NBA G League, where guys are coming and going. You have your leading scorer, and he gets called up, and then they send a guy down to you and constant. So I never flinch at that. Or if you're coaching in the NBA level, there's a trade. You know, you could have a multi-player trade, and 4 guys are out, and you get back a bunch of draft picks. That's not a good thing, trust me, when that happens, which has happened to me, where you take talent out, and what did you get back? Draft picks. Picks.
Hopeful.
What do you mean draft picks? You guys are going to fire me after the next 30 games. I need players.
But I mean, even you could tell yesterday, like, this team already looks like they've been together for like 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
they were just laughing the entire time. Like, it was still like the intensity was crazy, and even like the weird. I mean, you have bricks. You have them doing bricks. My favorite one was your like managers or other coaches had the towels over their face while they put their hand in their face and hit them in the head. It was unbelievable.
Well, if we don't put the towels over their heads and we close out with high hands in the eyeballs, I don't want to get sued. You know what I mean? Like,
Poke
the
him in the
guy's
eye.
got his retina just got poked out, and so what happened was when you guys showed up, we couldn't get the goggles out quickly enough where they could put the goggles on. So I figured, hey, we'll just go with the towels.
No, those drills are awesome.
I've come around on my ism. For me, you've got dunking, you've got old bag. When you win a big game, maybe it's West Virginia or Kentucky, you shake the hand of the opposing coach, and you should just say, "I'm the best one here." What do you think of that?
Coach, this guy, he's a nerd. He's very just shy kind of. He's a maniac.
He's bold.
He plays ping pong at work. He literally screamed at the guy saying, "I'm the best one in the office," 10 times.
Then the next week he stood over him.
Yeah, he did the
No,
AI.
that was
He did the
hands.
AI.
I
over
will
him.
tell you, this is true, you guys. What I don't like in college, there's a lot of things I don't like in college basketball, but in the NBA had it figured out. They don't shake hands.
Right.
The coaches.
Yep.
They look down, they wave, and they
point.
leave. Because what good is going to happen post-game somebody lost, somebody won, and now let's add in COVID. So I hope there's no more handshakes
There
moving
shouldn't.
forward.
Thank you.
You know, and I know the sportsmanship, I
Right.
get all that, but it's
You have the respect. You know, like, you prepare to beat this person. You want to beat the shit out of them. And now I got to shake your hand after you lose? Fuck that. I said the same thing. I went to a Mariners game and the Mariners got no hit and their fans clapped. I would fucking lose my mind if someone went to the Yankee Stadium and no hit them. I'm not clapping for the guy. I'm not respecting the game. Fuck that. I love that.
oh wow, we got the ping pong
Yeah.
with audio.
He's nuts.
Fucking nut job. The worst part about him,
Sometimes you
though,
want to
too,
win.
but the worst part about him is, like, it's almost like Andrew Luck. Remember, like, Andrew Luck got sacked and be like, "Good sack, buddy," and compliment them. He'll do that.
When
And
I
be
lose,
like, "Man,
I'm
you're
like,
a
good
great
job."
game. Like, good shots. You're such a good competitor. Like, almost like petty. Almost the worst. And he doesn't mean it like that too. But I agree. No more handshakes.
You touched on the Mariners. We're recording this the night of the All-Star game. I may have heard through the grapevine you're a big baseball stadium guy. Any pick? Well, what's the one stadium you haven't been to that you want to, and what's your World Series pick this year?
Oh, I mean, the World Series pick's easy. I mean, diehard San Diego Padre fan. There's no team in baseball, maybe in the last 10 years, more exciting than what the Padres got going on in Slam Diego. It's a
Yeah, it's a good catch.
That is true.
yeah. They got a lot of exciting players. I'd say the baseball stadium that I haven't been to Wrigley.
Yep.
Yep. I've been to Fenway with Lon Kruger on a non-game day. We got in there and got to walk the stadium. Been to Yankee Stadium because Dave Winfield obviously played for the Yankees, and my dad had coached Dave Winfield in college. Dave was a great basketball player, so I've been to Yankee Stadium, been to Dodger Stadium a ton. Where the Giants play in San Francisco, been there. So been to a lot of
I
historical.
just went there. That place is cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And when Barry Bonds was playing in San Francisco and going for that home run chase and those balls would go into the water,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. People just sitting out there all day waiting for
Kayak.
balls.
And the good thing is when you're not coaching, I've been in that water in one of those little boats.
You
No
were
one
out there?
recognized me with a Giants cap backwards, and a jersey on. No one recognized me. It
That's
was awesome.
unbelievable.
You got the ball?
Never got a ball.
Oh.
But I was out there. You know what? I mean,
Yeah.
how many people can say they were
Not
in
many.
a little
yeah.
canoe out there waiting on a home run ball? And
That'd
it's
be
cold,
interesting.
too. Don't
Yeah.
think it's not cold in the middle of the summer in San
Yeah, I feel like-
Francisco on a night game.
I'm not a boat guy.
No?
I feel like I'm getting literally trapped out there. If it's not your boat, you have no say when you could go back in. I feel like I'm just.
Well, yeah. It's
I feel like I'm literally getting kidnapped for like you have no idea how long you're out there.
you've been around. It's the summer. You have a beautiful pool.
What did
We
that
saw it at
mean?
the
Did,
house.
did you just call him old?
No,
You been around?
been around. Never recall.
That was something. Don't let-
Pool or ocean for the summer.
Oh, for sure, ocean.
Yeah, you're a California guy, right?
For sure, 1,000%. Matter of fact, when we came back from San Diego about a week ago, we've always had, pool chlorine. We went saltwater
Oh,
right when we got back. Number one, I don't know if anyone knows this, but it's really hard right now to get chlorine in a pool. The prices have skyrocketed.
is
And
this a problem
This
right
is
now?
no, it's true. I know you guys think I'm BS.
No, I've heard of a
No,
lot.
I-
this
I
is-
know lumber costs went up. There's a lot of shit going on in the
Yeah,
world right
We're
now.
on a
so,
coin shortage,
so
too.
now a lot of pools
Furniture you
are,
can't get
are,
delivered.
are straight going saltwater. So we got the saltwater pool. I asked my wife for one thing. Anytime it's birthday, Christmas, Father's Day, can we somehow get a palm tree in Arkansas in our backyard? That would be classic.
That
I would
be.
feel really comfortable if we had a palm tree with the salt water in the pool and maybe sprinkle a little bit of sand
Do you
somewhere.
have a landscaper out here, or can I put that out to my guys?
Your
Like,
guy
hey,
in
there's-
Michigan?
No, he's a shoe guy.
Shoe repair guy.
I got landscapers here. Like, hey, Coach Muscle give you a retweet, plug the business, maybe wear
No
the
question.
shirt.
Yeah, if you can get a palm
Tree? All
not
right.
only will
Might
we
be hard in
retweet,
rural New York, but now I have a project.
Put a palm tree anywhere, it classes up the place. Like
Yeah.
if you put it next to Applebee's, it's gonna look nice.
no question. Isn't that the
Applebee's,
truth?
It is. It
Yeah.
really is.
I mean, there's
anywhere you
something
go,
about palm trees.
you just feel better
Yeah.
when you're around them.
You feel better. It's class. And there's a lot of good things about palm trees.
I love this conversation.
mean-
Come to Musselman's office. We start talking about fucking palm trees.
Who would have thought?
And chlorine.
Glory.
Coach, this has been awesome. Thank you guys Thank you so much. You guys got anything else, sir?
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
If we're ending, I'm going right back to the ball cap,
let's go.
backwards. My partner.
My guy, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you,
I
Coach.
appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys.